Her background is nerd.
Darren should have gone to school here instead of Cutter, because you are a devil. I can tell you that right now.
She rolls in like she's a Hollywood movie star now. She's just here for the camera.
I guess I tooted.
No hard-hitting questions here.
Yeah,
Shall we talk about my one-sentence resignation?
Well, welcome to the next edition of Spilling the Tea in Studio D, the 40-year, the 40 years of co-ops rolls
Happy
on.
anniversary.
That's right, happy anniversary.
Yes.
That's the word I was looking for, the anniversary.
What is the actual anniversary month? Like, do you know that?
I want to say, wouldn't it be July 1?
July 1.
Yeah,
Cool.
because it started in
That
a school
makes
year.
sense.
Yeah, exactly. And you've only been doing school 30 years.
True.
And you know the importance of July 1. If not, we'll, crash
I didn't know
course.
until we had our retreat that there was some that had piloted.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
learn that.
there you go. Yeah. So, but officially, all of them,
Because
40 years.
I was 11
Right.
at that time.
Right. Yeah. So we are at Arkansas River in beautiful Pine Bluff, Arkansas. The director, Cathi Swann, and TCC, Lincoln Daniels. So
Assistant director, too.
assistant
Yes,
director,
yes,
too.
yes.
That's right. Yep. Hey, that's what Candace is. I had to do that to shut up.
Slash.
Well, it was either that or give her more money. I said, I give you a title. How about
do
that?
both. Do both.
That's right. I said, no, I'll
let's
just
do both. Yeah.
I said, let me increase your name tag. And we'll call that even. But we were talking about probably the coolest thing about this tour has been the opportunity to travel the state. Unless where was it we were going? I don't know, but I think there was a restroom at the start and stop and everything in between. So So
we just start calling him Chuck Dovish.
Yeah. Well,
traveling Arkansas.
Wouldn't that be the greatest job, though?
Oh,
I
it
would
would be.
love to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's been neat. I mean, there's
today's a
months
prime
in it.
example. I mean, it's a beautiful day out there now, and we were kind of, as we do, like a good old country song. I mean, we whine about the sunshine, then we fuss we don't have enough rain, but outside the blinding us on the way in for about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's been a beautiful day to drive.
Very
It's
beautiful.
fun. Fall is in the air.
Yes,
And,
so
and,
nice.
and we rolled in, Pine Bluff, and it's just like, almost. I don't know what the word, historic, I guess, is one way of,
Yes.
because she made the comparison to even parts of Pine Bluff look like parts of Hot Springs, that kind of thing. And back in the day, if I understand it right, I mean, Pine Bluff was the place to be.
Yes.
I mean,
It was a hub.
It was a hub, probably more millionaires per capita down here than anywhere in the state. And, but, at the end of the day, we hadn't seen a bad piece of the state yet, I don't think.
Right.
It's
Been
just,
great.
it
You'd
really
be hard
has.
pressed in Arkansas to find that.
Yeah,
Really.
unless you're like me and you travel with Candace, and she tries to sing. It's
Listen, since he's on me all the time,
yeah,
let's talk about Pawpaw's driving.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
let's talk about.
Oh,
hey, ain't nobody else signing up for it.
Although, I would rather just deal with
Driving's
it.
a slower
I would
pace
just-
around here, though. Down
I
there.
would rather
You know what I mean?
work and just
Right.
let him drive, and I'm working. I'm not paying attention to driving. But I'm surprised he didn't get any tickets today because he was speeding quite a bit.
oh no, just enjoy it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and I think with you in there, I could always say, I got an emergency. I got to get her, checked in. We're on the way to rehab, so one of those kind of things. But we digress. So,
Terrible.
so
You are spilling the tea.
yes,
Yeah,
we are
yeah.
spilling
Spilling the tea.
Absolutely. So
Made up tea. but
So one of the things that we really like to do is like to follow everybody's journey to what led them where they are, in education, to end up, co-op, whatever. And I know you didn't really have a choice. I mean, education was in your blood. So
Yes. That wasn't the direction I was going to go. My
Right.
mom and dad were in education, and I was not going to go that route.
Right.
All the acronyms they threw around all those years, I was like, I'm
Yep.
not doing that.
yeah,
And so I went a different direction, but God kept leading me back and
Yeah.
went through a non-traditional pathway, and education was for me after all.
right.
Started teaching at Fountain Hill,
Mm-hmm.
which is between Hamburg and Monticello.
Okay.
We were in that first, started out as 1,500, then all 300
Right. Yeah.
consolidation or
Yep.
annexation, closing the school districts. So I stayed behind with Hamburg for 2 years after that. But then we used a lot of digital learning
Yep.
there in the smallness of Fountain Hill. And so I really loved the idea of taking my kids places they could never go.
Right.
And I could just see their eyes light up. And so when the state digital learning coordinator position
Right.
came up, I applied for it thinking there's no way, there's
Yeah.
just no way. And so got that position. That turned into Virtual Arkansas and Team Digital as technology changed.
Right.
But the interesting part about that role is I was hired at the co-ops. So there was a co-op director board that hired me, and so I was at their meetings every month,
Right.
giving them the updates. So I worked for them, and I'll never forget Guy Fenner said, "Girl, if you do this right, this department's gonna come in, they'll want this back.
Yeah.
Want this back." So about 8 years later, the department came knocking on Mr. Fenter and Mr. Young's door, and so I kind of transitioned. I wasn't an AD employee,
Right.
but I worked in partnership with the department
Yeah.
and the co-ops, and that's when we changed it through to Virtual Arkansas.
Cool.
So did that, loved that work, loved having the statewide impact,
Right.
but really wanted to come back home to my region and do something a little different.
Awesome.
And co-ops are my blood too.
Sure.
So it's just a
So,
Here I
so where is home for you? Where'd you go to school?
gosh, my dad was a coach,
Right,
so
Oh, yeah.
I call home a lot of different places. But if I had to pick one, it would be Monticello because I'm a
Okay.
South Arkansas girl. I mean,
Right.
through
Right.
and through.
Yeah.
Lived in Dumas, McGee, Fordyce, all the places.
Yeah.
Magnolia.
Yeah.
That's got to be tough
Crossit.
too. You think about military kids, but
yeah.
coaches' kids. I mean, they're going around
So,
everywhere.
Where'd you actually graduate from?
Monticello.
Monticello.
Mhm.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was a Billy.
Yeah. Okay.
Proud Billy.
Yeah.
Proud Billy.
Okay.
So I've been here this is my 9th year.
Okay.
Awesome.
Lincoln, what about you?
Well, I'm from Northeast Arkansas
Okay.
originally. Lived in McCrory.
Yep.
For the majority of my life. I am the jack of some trades and the master
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
none.
That's
So
not
That's not true.
I was not exactly our valedictorian.
Right. Right.
So, but I'm pretty good at music.
yeah.
So I had an opportunity to get an education paid for through music.
Okay.
And so I went to the University of Arkansas and was a music major,
Right.
band director for a few years. And my first job was at Augusta.
Okay.
Best job ever.
Right.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
But, finances and
Sure.
all of the things. So I was at Augusta for 3 years, transitioned to Riverview right outside of Searcy.
Yeah.
2 more years. And then my home school district, Charles Vondran, he contacted me and said, "We'd love to talk to you about coming over." He was about to transition out, and
Right.
his high school principal was about to transition out together
Oh, wow. Yeah.
1 year from then. So anyways, they kind of trial run, hired me. The board approved it, and I came in as assistant principal
Yeah.
for 1 year and helped out, and they decided that they would take a chance, and I stayed
Right.
11 years as high school principal.
Wow.
And of course, pretty small place.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So learned a lot of things.
Yeah.
And then transitioned from there to Marion High School. So,
Okay.
I went from 300 kids to 1,000 kids.
Right.
And I was there a couple of years, and then got the opportunity to come to Sheridan
Yeah.
and was deputy superintendent there for 8 years.
Okay.
And then I've made that transition here. So I'm
Yeah.
in month. I'm about to be in month 4
Yep.
Right.
at the
Okay.
co-op, and
Yeah.
I'm loving it. Now I
Yeah.
had a relationship here because this is
Right.
who supported us
Oh, yeah.
all the years I was at Sheridan. So
Yeah. Right.
so it's been great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, and the thing I like best, honestly, when I had the opportunity to look at co-op, I'd been on the board. We talk about this a lot. Even though you're on the board, you don't know what all goes on. But the thing
You don't know
that
what you're missing.
that's
Sometimes
right,
really
absolutely,
don't.
you don't. And the thing that I
Exactly.
absolutely love about it though is at the end of the day, for sure, impacting more kids. We have the opportunity to do that. And but yeah, you're right. You don't know what you're missing. And the cool thing about it is now, we talk about this all the time, but it's the relationship piece, like you're saying, going home, making this connection, that connection, but being serving on the board like I did, knowing those guys in one hand, and now I think they're pretty comfortable, if and when they do need something, or if something, just whatever the case may be, they feel they can call us. And I think that's what's kind of neat about the path we all have taken. We've developed those relationships through the years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's just like when I served as principal. And I don't know, we were talking about something. This is when he was director, I was principal, and talking about our reading scores or whatever. He's like, well, hey, get our specialists in there. I mean, you just don't think
Right.
about it
Right.
because you're so swamped and busy, and just having that relationship where we knew each other. And he's like, well, hey, and it's like getting his specialists
Right.
out there. And we loved it. I mean, we benefited greatly from having it. I tell all of our districts now, I mean, I personally witnessed what they can do. So, and then I told Lincoln, I'm like, when you come in, it's completely different. It's the backside of everything. I was like, give it a year and then you'll be okay.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, the first year, it's kind of like, what in the world?
Yeah.
What do we do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
It's like being behind the curtain at the Wizard of
Yeah.
Oz.
Yeah.
All the
Yeah.
things that are working.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
You
our
know.
business manager's like, oh, you finally got the codes, because I would ask them a million questions. I'm like, I'm sorry, but you're just gonna have to bear with
Yeah.
it. And so she's like,
About the 12th
finally
time.
3 years in, she's
Yeah.
like, you finally got
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I got it, I think.
Well, and the thing that the other part, we've talked about this in our director group, but I feel like now even co-ops are working more closely together, and seeing that with school districts too, because some of the successful or academically successful districts may be doing something in the past and kind of want to hide their light, but now they're shining, and I mean sharing with everybody. And I think people have finally gotten on board with the fact. I mean, sometimes I think we overcomplicate, but now they're realizing that if one kid, is pulled up from, getting something from another district, they're willing to share that.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what it's
Yeah,
all
so-
about.
I have not a former friend, and she would always say combined genius.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
I like that.
You got to borrow it.
Yep.
You can't
Yeah.
keep
Exactly.
it held
What-
hostage.
Yeah, well,
There's
the
so much to
answers in the
do.
room
Yeah.
somewhere, so share.
Right. Right.
We
'Cause
we recently had Tori brought in, one of our superintendents suggested it was a great idea
Right.
about bringing in. He had suggested the department, but we were like, hey, why don't we get the geometry teachers in our area that have the top scores and let
Yes.
them, if they're willing to, and let them share with the others. Went over well. We're about to do it with Algebra 1. Going to probably do biology. I had a principal's emailing me saying, can you do this for 7th and 8th grade? Can you do this for, I mean, they were wanting,
That's great.
yeah, we did a little last summer with elementary, but we didn't even think about,
Right.
geometry, because it's the school year, and a lot of times they don't want them out of class, but they're like, yes, please,
And there's
let's do it.
common practices that
Yes.
they're all doing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
And I think the more with those kinds of things, even the terminology and the language that's used there that sometimes gets lost from district to district. I think it's important to push
Yeah.
those kinds of things out there for sure.
Yeah.
And the cool part about co-ops too is the regional approach. Obviously, I think spaced out like they are, I think it really gives co-ops an opportunity to diagnose or whatever the case may be, and it is going to move from region to region. Everybody has their challenges, right? And so talk about that for a minute, how you guys zero in specifically on the needs of some schools around here.
So the way we're a little bit different is we have traditional schools and then we have 3 non-traditional schools.
Right.
And so just that in itself,
Yeah.
with the traditional schools, our smallest school is 4A.
Mm-hmm.
Our largest school is 6A.
Wow.
So we have those large schools that we serve.
Yeah.
And then the non-traditional schools are statewide schools.
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas School for the Deaf and Blind,
Yep.
Arkansas Correctional School, which people don't realize that every prison
Yes.
has a school in it with a principal and teachers.
Right.
Right.
And so we support them.
Right.
So it has its own plan. And then our newest member is the Division of Youth Services.
Okay.
And so those are the juvenile detention centers
Right.
around. So
Yeah.
what we have done here at Arkansas River is created a personalized, individualized plan for each district
Right.
because their needs are so different.
Right.
And especially with the non-traditional pieces.
Sure.
But what we love about it is when we come to a board meeting and they're all in here together, we're all have the same goal, which is to
Right.
not have them be in the Arkansas correctional system,
Exactly.
Right.
but to have
Yeah.
a better choice of life. So
Yeah.
Right.
choices in life. So the personalized approach to each district, the relationships, and it is personalized because one district may need something and none of the other ones need it.
Right.
But our role is to provide that.
Right.
And if we can provide it for multiple districts, that's fine. But if it's just for one, that's the starfish mentality.
Oh yeah.
We're going to go the extra mile
Oh,
and meet the need of that district.
For sure.
Oh, absolutely. And you mentioned something, and again, this is somewhat regional to us. I mean, I live in Garland County, for instance, and you talked about youth services. Back in the day when I was administrator, I mean, we had court school there in the county, and that's not the case now.
Right.
And so I would imagine at times youth services probably gets a little overflow from all over the state.
Right.
So yeah, and getting those folks, and again, I've known people through the years that have worked over there, but they have school.
They do.
And
They do.
yeah,
It looks a lot different.
Right.
But it looks different in a 2, 3, 4A than it does in a 6,
Absolutely.
7A. So
Yeah.
it's really just that looking at each district as its own unique community,
Yeah.
looking at the
That's
community.
right. Yeah.
Because one thing that will work here
Yeah.
will not work over in this
Right.
community.
Same
Right.
content,
So,
just
mhm.
different
That's
delivery.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah, and we kind of like she was saying, by bringing the best of the best in, I think that's something that we all need to get a little bit better at, honestly. And I know teachers are super busy, and but if we can, I think two things: if we can get them to take the time and make sure the time that they're
Right.
giving us is incredibly productive. I think
Right.
again, it's a situation where, and we talked about this too. I know Zoom's one thing, but you just can't replace that face to face. And so I think it's been really neat the last couple of years to see everybody coming together again. I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
I mean, we reach out. We've got Brooke at Wilbur Mills. She's going to come in and do some stuff for us this summer. It's like, hey, we have somebody that is great in a certain area. Please come
Right.
help. So
Yeah.
it's just really nice to be able to reach out
Oh, yeah.
to everybody.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
So, as far as Lincoln, your path to where you are. I mean, we talked about this earlier too. The small schools, like kind of like you were saying. And I mean, you've been there, but I mean, the smaller the school, the more hats you wear.
Right. All of them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. But talk
Mhm.
about that for just a minute, about how that's prepared you though to the path that you've been on.
It was a great experience. We had, I think we talked about this last week. There were 3 administrators in the district. There was a
Right.
superintendent, very supportive of me for a straight decade, elementary principal and high school principal,
Right.
and then a federal coordinator, which kind of just tied up all the loose ends. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody knows about that position, but on Thursday night, Friday night, there's nobody.
That's right.
Mhm.
Right.
That's right. Exactly.
There is.
The athletic director is coaching football,
Yeah,
so
right.
there is not, so
Yeah.
you're just steady. You've got
80
athletics.
hours a week. Yeah.
You've got athletics 4 nights a week.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
get to the spring, you've still got 4 nights a week, and plus
Yeah.
all the other stuff. So it is a lot. There's really no part of school that you're not
Right.
Touching. Yeah.
touching or somewhat familiar
Right.
with.
Yeah.
There was a point where we were not very academically strong,
Yeah.
and of course we were part of Wilbur Mills, and I remember calling Alicia Hayes and
Yeah.
and said we gotta we got to change. We
Yeah.
need some.
Yeah.
There's not a person in my district,
Right.
so
Right.
they sent the team our way. We took advantage of that. We rethought how we did things, and we moved to a highly successful school
Right.
with those resources. And that's,
Yeah.
our districts are certainly much larger
Oh yeah. Yeah.
than we were at that time. But it's still the same kind of help. It's
Oh,
still
yeah.
the same kind of focus, whether you're working with a department or one teacher who just needs individual support.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
It's exciting to
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
a difference.
Oh,
Yeah.
it really is, and like I say, with all that you learned, and even some of the struggles, I mean,
Yeah.
that you look back on, and think, well, man, you know, at the time I was not loving that, but you're looking back on it now. Yeah, I mean, you're almost thankful for some of them.
Yeah.
And especially in these seats. I mean, when you're able to, when they call you and say, hey, how do you deal with this? You know, so, but yeah, and in your path with the digital piece, I mean, you was digital when digital wasn't cool even. I mean, that honestly, in the early going, I mean, that was a push to get somebody in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was tough.
Yeah.
People don't like change so much.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And educators are some of the worst.
And sometimes, especially if what you are trying to innovate with
Right.
works sometimes and sometimes doesn't,
Right.
or it's a new type of tool that you're just not quite sure about.
Yeah.
So it was interesting to watch the waves of adoption.
Right.
You know, we learn the early adopters, the laggards, you know, all that in that philosophy of it. But it is true. It is certainly true.
Yeah.
But in that, I learned to be very patient.
Yep.
And that sometimes if you know how good something can be, you're only as good as convincing someone else.
Right.
Right.
You can't just tell them. I mean,
Right.
it may take you 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And then they'll go, oh, okay, I can do this for kids, because it's all about the kids.
Yeah.
Right.
But yes, it was definitely an interesting time.
Well, and you know, experience that we had in Fountain Lake, you know, going conversion charter or whatever. At that time, wasn't a lot of them, but I used to tell people 2 things. You know, they used to call us crazy. Now they call us. Right?
Yes.
And then second of all, and again, it's tough to do, but you know, going from what if to what the hell, that is a huge step with a lot of people.
Yes.
You know,
Yes. And some don't make it. Let's
they
be
don't.
honest.
That's right. You're
Some
right.
just are not going to take it.
That's right.
But
Too worried about failing forward. You
yes,
know?
or what things look like,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
just not being able to speak to it,
Right.
not having the confidence in it. But it's about the relationships.
Yeah.
Well, like, and you guys are probably, I mean, even though, let's just take Pine Bluff, for instance, the districts you have, but probably more so in some places of the state, they're completely different in some arenas. And I'm sure there's some similarities across the board, right?
Well, kids are kids and people
That's
are
right.
people.
Yeah.
But what the kids show up with and what the people show up with looks
100%.
different.
That's right.
And so what you do with that takes a little bit of a different approach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just kind of keep that in mind and do a lot of research and listening. And we just know that, you know, schools get frustrated. They do.
Yeah,
they get
do.
frustrated all over the state.
100%.
Yeah.
But especially when they are working very hard and doing the right work and doing all the things that another school may be doing, right?
Yeah.
And just not getting the same results.
You just can't have those kids 24/7.
Yeah.
Right.
If you could.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with our school districts being a little bit on the larger side,
Right.
we still have that relationship with a smaller school. They'll call us if they need us to come in and help.
Right.
They need another set of hands. But what we find is they really have started looking to us to be that special population so that they can focus on their K-12.
Right.
So we serve their preschool students directly. We serve their alternative education directly. We serve virtual students directly. It's a lot of direct services where we hire the staff and we take care of that for them in partnership with them.
Right.
They lead it. They approve the staff.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's a consortium. So when I came here, there were 2 consortiums, and now there are 12.
Right.
So that just goes to show you the relationships, the need for the larger school districts to start working together, like you said.
Yeah.
Our superintendents just share
That's great.
around the table,
Yeah.
and
That's
it's just
great.
I'm inspired at every board meeting.
Well,
Yeah, that's good.
But another thing that's unique to Pine Bluff that I really do love how this entire community comes together when it comes to education. And again, to me, that's been a shift probably in the last 5 to 10 years. But I mean, you get to serve on, and I mean, not to belittle it like it's just another committee, but you're heavily involved
in community groups,
Absolutely.
and councils, and educational alliances, and chamber institutions. This building, I'm going to go back.
Sure.
This building was the Sears and Roebuck building,
Mhm.
and so for years, Southeast Arkansas and the community of Pine Bluff looked at this place as a place of hope and fun and
Right.
Santa Claus and coming to get what they needed,
Right.
right? So those folks are still around, and so honestly, I have seen that was the start of it.
Right.
Is the building and where its location and its previous past for the community.
Right.
So they're already looking. And then we have, we were the first hippie program in the state, and parents as teachers. So all the littles started coming to the co-op and the community, and so it just kind of grew from there.
Yeah.
And we had some really, really influential directors here.
Yeah.
Prior to me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not influential. I'm saying I'm riding on
Sure you
their
are.
their tails there, shirt tails. So they were involved in everything. Dr. Curtis Merrill was the first director here, and he was in every political. He was in every environmental. He was innovative. He was just the man of Pine Bluff.
Yeah.
So people gave him property.
Yeah.
Do something with this.
Oh wow.
So that's just kind of been what we have enjoyed here as leaders.
Sure.
Is that kind of legacy
Yeah.
of just being we have an idea. Let's go over there and see what they'll do.
Yeah.
Will they want to partner with this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am on a lot of committees, but it is honestly because of the people that were here before me.
Yeah.
It's just been a
Well,
expectation.
And I'll say this too. I mean, if I had to put one word on it, it's just the pride that they have down here.
Yes.
And it's a pride and priority, because it is a priority.
It is.
And it should be, right?
It is.
Yeah.
And I think too, statewide, you don't always see that,
Right.
but you do when you're here.
Right.
Because what other people see is just what little clips on the news or
Yeah.
something on Facebook or whatever that is.
Right.
And so, but holistically, this community and this county and this region, very proud
Oh yeah.
and involved, and they care,
Yep.
Yeah.
and they will come out.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They will
Yeah.
come
I
out.
love it.
Well, and that's important, that supportive piece, and and that's the thing. You said something. Kids are kids. That's absolutely the 100% truth, and and a lot of times that's the reason we can't. And I know we're bad about it. Sometimes we get caught in systems over students or whatever, but at the end of the day, kids need to know, number one, they're supported, but number two, that truly to open the door to what lays ahead is an education.
Yes.
And as former administrators, everybody at this table, we know that. We preach that.
Oh yeah.
And obviously we were there, knucklehead here, that I mean, it took me till I got 17 or 18 to realize, but the greatest part is we're blessed to have 2 4-year universities right there. I know y'all got some here, but in those teacher ed programs, and just seeing the last, I'd say, couple 3 years, the spike up and young men and women that are interested in going to education as a professional, as a profession. And it was just yesterday we were at Henderson doing their beginning teacher entrance exam or interviews, and just to see the spark and the fire in their eyes about. And then even with that said, we were talking about this on the drive up, was had some non-traditional folks in there. I mean, started out as a para, got the test drive kids, and they're like, man, this is for me.
It's so funny though, because you're sitting there and you're like, oh my gosh, I remember doing this and why I wanted to be a teacher.
Yeah.
It was really, it's cool. It's just a neat experience.
We have UAPB, and then we have CARC.
Yep.
So we have a 4-year and a 2-year in the same town.
Right.
So that's
good.
unique to us. Not everybody has that in a major city, and they're very supportive. And they've started working together in a way that's been really inspiring over the past few years. So you can go to CARC and get your first 2 years, and it automatically will transfer to UAPB.
Awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. Yeah.
That's a competition, right?
yeah.
But especially in the education world, that's really helped with navigate that. Because a lot of people get lost on a 4-year campus. And
Access.
not really.
Price. Availability.
Yeah, all those things.
Exactly.
Yeah, and there's some in our region, even like National Park. I think they've got something with SAU, and I mean, but again, they're figuring out a path for these kids.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're right. Sometimes it can be limiting to like location and let's access, and let's get real. I mean, financially, and I've seen lots of kids, that get to that 2-year. And blossom, and they get the next 2 paid for. So I mean, it's a lot of great partnerships going on around here.
I love the state's push to accessibility and acceleration.
Yeah,
ooh, that's right up my alley. It's not just the 4-point, 5-point students.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
it's
Yeah,
it's
right.
all of
It's-
us.
yeah,
If you're
right.
ready, move forward.
Yes.
That's right.
If you're
Yes.
available and ready and
Yeah.
prepared for it, get going.
Yeah, and I think that's absolutely right. I mean, obviously every kid is going to learn and move at a different pace, and that's the thing about acceleration. I mean, that term's been thrown out a lot within the last year anyway. And somebody asked me the other day, "What is that?" And I said, "Well, I don't want to dummy it down, but basically, like you said, if we got a kid, no matter, and they're excelling, there's no sense in it goes back to individualizing, that kid's educational plan,
Yeah.
and saying, look, hey, they have this aptitude, they're moving through, let's let them go.
And we're all expected to organize that opportunity
Right? Yeah,
because we didn't always do that.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Yep.
you're
That's-
absolutely
That's
right.
powerful.
Yeah, it is.
Well, speaking back, I'm going to tie that conversation into when you said back when we started digital learning.
Mm-hmm.
That was a push at the time, but it was just
Yeah.
called something different.
Right.
And so there were all these innovative school models in one classroom that you could implement, and everybody could be at a different time, place, path, or pace.
Right.
And so that's what digital learning was forever. So we've kind of moved away from those terminologies. I think a lot nationally because of COVID and the bad rap that technology or digital learning got in that movement.
Right.
So now it's
Yeah.
like we'll just throw all that out. Let's accelerate, and y'all just figure out how to do this in a classroom.
Oh yeah.
So those school models will still work.
Oh, yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it's bringing the old innovation with the new innovation
Yeah.
and trying to get people to see
Well,
that.
this is absolutely true. I mean, the most important piece to this whole thing is the teacher in front of that classroom.
All day.
And I think that was probably one of the toughest sells for digital. They're like, well, that's just a substitute. Not the case. I mean, what I found through the years with Virtual Arkansas even is, I mean, that's some of the best, because in order to thrive and survive as a teacher in that environment, I mean, you got to be on your game.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because you're talking to a camera, but having the awareness to know, I'm talking to lots of kids at the same time.
Yeah.
and
Multiple
make- yeah,
districts. The
yeah,
politics just kind of a teacher that can work in that environment
right.
with serving 20 school districts,
Yeah.
20 principals, 20 superintendents, 20 school boards, 20
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
sets of communities of parents. That's just kind of a skill set that is developed.
Right.
But yeah, the best. We
Oh,
have
yeah.
Virtual Academy here at the river,
Mhm.
and we've just expanded into K-12. We were
Right.
K-8.
Right.
But one of our school districts asked us, and we're not anywhere near the size and don't anticipate being
right.
the state virtual school.
Right.
Virtual Arkansas, I still push Virtual Arkansas.
Yeah.
I promote it. It's a passion of mine,
Right.
and I love it. But I'm also excited to be able to still be involved directly with a smaller
Sure.
version.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And so we end up with about 800 students a
Right.
year,
Yep.
and it's primarily taking it back to the old role.
Right.
So we may be the art teacher for Earl,
Mm-hmm.
but we are CIV
Yeah.
type technology where we are in the classroom with the students. It's
Right.
not
Right.
fully online.
Absolutely.
So we just have a little bit of a
Yeah.
different niche there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it works.
Well, and that's one of the things that's been neat about this whole co-op tour is talking to people about the strengths that they have and but I mean we hear this all the time across the board now. It's more partnerships. If say we need something, y'all have it, and vice versa. These kinds of things.
Yes.
Reaching out to share.
Yeah,
I
and
love it.
hadn't always been that way either.
No.
But again, I go back to everybody's hopefully on the page that where we are with kids and where we need to get them, and finishing strong. That is the most important piece of this whole puzzle, I think. So
And I don't think that anyone really, not everyone understands that idea of kids don't come with the same tools and experiences.
100%.
But then also don't understand, even would be shocked and surprised to know what some kids don't come with
Oh, absolutely.
and what the challenge is for a school district.
Sure.
And the
Yes.
resources that are
Yeah.
needed, and
Yes.
every child deserves that.
Oh, yeah.
Every kid.
Right.
But
Every
just
kid.
that struggle of meeting every
Yep.
child where they are for school districts is something
Yeah.
that Lincoln and I both understand
Yeah.
and feel with them, and we'll do just about anything that's
yeah.
legal and ethical. And we have the
Yeah.
funds too. That's my
Yeah.
Exactly.
legal, ethical, and if I have the
Yeah.
money, I'm there.
Yeah.
We're there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's just a challenge.
Well, and for instance, for us, like for years, Clark County had after school program, Arkadelphia did or whatever, but due to facilities and some other things, they were unable to carry it on. And I ran into a person from Destiny one day and said, do co-ops have LEAs? I'm like, yeah. They said, you ever thought about applying for a 21st century grant? And I mean, the timing couldn't have been any better. And I said, well, yeah, we'll do it. And
when was this?
This was, I don't know, a couple, 3-4 years ago,
That's awesome.
I think. So, but with that being said, having that LEA allowed us to participate in now, even to the point this year we reapplied. It was time to do that and got a summer program. And to me, it just blows my mind the number of kids that show up and expecting this many have signed up. And in most instances, we've had double end up showing
That's
up.
awesome.
But again, those kids, again, it goes back to what you're saying. I think sometimes we tend to take things for granted that every kid has this, and this, but they don't.
They don't.
No.
And so the summer piece is huge. I'm glad you brought that up. That's one of the ways that we try to bridge that gap is when they're out in the summertime.
Right.
We did not use that funding source. We had different funding sources, but one of our most successful camps that we operate is for incoming kindergartners.
Oh, wow.
And it's a Curious George camp.
Yeah.
And every day is a different theme. It's a different book of the day.
Right.
And so they are immersed in that book. We take them on the field trip. If Curious George went to the train station, then we take them to the train station.
Oh, wow.
Or to the fire station.
Yeah.
And so we have had 100% of every child that is in that 2-week program grow.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
so just that, getting them ready for kindergarten,
Yeah.
and then the other summer ones with agri and STEM and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
do think there is a huge opportunity for co-ops
Right.
in summer programming.
Oh, yeah.
It's just finding the funding sources because the
Right.
kids and the families are there
They're ready.
and they will
Yeah.
come.
Oh, yeah.
They
Well,
will come.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the thing about it is, too, I mean, I don't want to downplay the fun part of it either because, I mean, we have that academic piece built in 1st and foremost, but some of the enrichment that these kids get to do, and we've got great directors down there, but one of the things they did this summer was go to basketball camp with Henderson State.
Oh, that's fun.
And these kids, I mean, maybe see a gym at school and that's it, that kind of thing. But again, I mean, I'm sure you guys have the same thing, but getting those kids early exposure to
plant a seed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that ties to vocabulary.
It does.
It ties to goals. It ties to them being able to have a vision beyond tomorrow.
Yeah.
If they can see something they might want to be or do
Right.
when they get older. I mean, that's what we
Yeah.
find with children. Some of the kids that we serve is that they can't see past tomorrow.
Right.
Exactly.
And I mean, they may say, and this is an extreme case, but I'm sure every region has them.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm gonna be here tomorrow.
Right. Yeah.
If I make it through the night and see you back tomorrow
Yeah.
at school, that's a win for me.
Oh, yeah.
That is
Yes.
reality for a
Yeah.
lot of students and homes and communities in
Yes.
Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if we can give them that opportunity to see something else and look past tomorrow,
Just need an
Yeah.
adult to believe in them.
that's the
Just
first
to
barrier.
believe.
That's that
Yeah.
Maslow's
Yep.
Yes.
first
Yep.
level. So
Yes.
That's absolutely right.
It's really hard though, and you talk about that, but just getting, because I think whenever I was a teacher, you don't really understand what's going on with the kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know they have a tough time, but you're bell to bell, next period. But when you get in that counseling and that principal superintendent role and you're having to make home visits and you're having to deal, and it's just gut wrenching of
it is.
I mean, I grew up, we did not have a lot, but we had love in our house and we had what we needed. You know what I'm saying? And some of these places, it would just, I mean, wow. And even with my daughter, because she grew up in a home where we had an only child, Scott and I both worked, and you just don't have a clue until when COVID hit, we delivered meals, and she went with me one day because I said, you know what? You need to go with me one day because she just didn't understand. And at that, when she saw what some of the kids didn't have, it just was like, Mom, it made her think a little bit more. I mean, she doesn't have, Darren knows her, she's not a super compassionate person, but it did make her step back.
She gets
and go,
that from her mom.
No, yeah.
Her dad,
From her
super
dad.
compassionate.
Oh, whatever. I'm probably too compassionate is what people would say, but we all have the heart. Most educators, I do believe, have a heart for kids to try to get them out of that situation where they do have hope and know that they can succeed and do what, if they want to dream it, you can do it. You just, you know.
We don't always remember there's a story to every kid, and
Yeah.
whatever's going on certainly is not about us.
Oh,
Definitely
yeah.
is not.
That's right.
No,
You know.
exactly.
Yeah.
We may feel like it is,
Yeah,
but
it's
it
not.
is certainly not about
Yeah.
us.
No, it's
Yes.
not, and you know that's the thing. You know, I think about districts and really, and I've worked in some affluent districts and I've worked in some very rural districts, but one of the things that they all struggle with is, you know, they have the haves and the have-nots. And when I say have-not, I mean they're literally kids that will come to school to get a meal and just a warm place to hang out.
Hot water.
Yeah, hot water. Yeah, and you know, like I say, with all that going on, that's another place where you know co-ops can push in and help with that academic piece and or these other pieces. And you know, if it's going to benefit kids, like you're saying, I think it's something that you know. I feel good about what the co-ops are doing across the board because they're meeting those needs. So.
And educators make an impact. We talked about, we had those interviews at HSU with the teachers wanting to get in the teacher program, and one of the guys, you know, played football and was talking about he's from a different state and that his coach took him to a junior college, you could just tell the situation. He didn't go in detail, but the kid played football, got him at the junior college, and then ended up at Henderson. You know, he's talking about he was going to have to do his observation hours, but he didn't have a car. But he was going to go to the ones close. His friends were going to help him out. But it just made me go, oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Once again,
But he's
let's take
still
it back
gonna
to
make
the
it
coach.
work.
He's going to make it.
Yeah.
The coach saw the potential in the kid and made sure that he was going to get that kid in school somewhere. It was just,
Around here, we call that and then some.
Yes.
And that's part of our hiring process and our culture is that, yes, you have your job to do, and we expect 100% excellence and then 10% and then some. Because every child we come in contact is going to need an and then some, and quite frankly, every adult that we come in contact with. So,
Well, and like I say, with that after school and summer program, we're blessed with those people because I mean, literally spend, as most educators do, thousands of dollars on food and snacks. I mean, they don't call me and say, "Hey, look, we ran out." I mean, they call and say, "Look."
Does that sound familiar?
Yeah,
Mr. Daniels?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yes.
you know, getting the right people, right spots for sure. But opportunities is something I feel like that every kid deserves that, you know, for sure.
And the reality is that sometimes that's the only way we get them there.
Right.
Is with food. And I
That's
know
right.
that sounds terrible.
No,
but it is true. And
Yeah.
so when you have a grant that says no food,
Yep.
I mean, I get it. They're thinking,
Don't waste.
you know, but sometimes it's how you get families there for resources while you have them.
Right.
It's to just give them a good meal.
Right. Yeah.
And we're Southern.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
hospitality,
That's right.
right?
Exactly.
Southern
Southern
hospitality.
It's built in.
That's right.
It's like,
Yeah, that's a given. That's right.
You were going to have somebody here all day and we're not going to be able to give them anything?
Yeah.
No.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
oh gosh.
All right. Well, so
You're not done. You're not out of the hot seat.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
man,
no,
that sounded like we were wrapping up.
no.
No. Now to
No,
the fun.
yeah.
We need to ask him, what do you do for fun? We'll start
Yeah,
it with that
yeah.
while he's
What's
thinking
something
of
you
some
do for fun?
difficult off the wall questions over there. Yeah. What do y'all do for
Well, I hunt and fish.
right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time.
There you go.
Every second of my spare time is pretty much spent with my family.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so that's what I do for fun.
Now, how old
My
is-
husband has a poultry farm, which is
Yeah.
a lot of time and
Yeah.
energy. And then I have a 28-year-old,
Right.
and then I have a 14-year-old.
Right.
Ah.
And so, and I have a mother, you
Right.
know, that I
Yeah.
spend a lot of time with. And
Yeah.
so if I have any spare time,
Yeah.
I'm pretty much with my family. If
Me
if
too.
if you'd asked me that 30 years ago, I probably would have said tennis,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
kayaking,
Yeah.
anything
Right.
outside,
Yeah.
traveling.
Right.
Still enjoy those things, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
as I've gotten a little older,
Well,
really just like to spend
priorities.
time with my family.
Well,
Yeah.
priorities change, right?
And with
Because
both,
I know they're not
Yeah.
going to be there long, right?
No.
The children are going to go, and
Right.
Yeah.
and with both of my examples, it's with my family.
Sure. Oh,
They're
yeah.
100% into
Yeah.
that. So this
Oh,
is
yeah,
kind of
that's
our
good.
Christmas, muzzleloader season
Yeah.
right
Oh,
now.
yeah. Absolutely.
So season is next weekend. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
everybody at my house is on go.
We know where you'll be, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Don't look for
And
me.
as leaders,
Yeah.
Mr. Daniels and I give each other a lot of grace because he has 2 twins that are
Yeah.
the same age, around the
Eighth
same
grade?
age as my
Right.
my
Yeah.
14-year-old.
Yeah.
So we know what all goes with that, right?
Yeah.
So
y'all
Oh,
got, a lot,
yeah.
y'all got a lot of common. Y'all
Yeah.
can talk about a
For
lot
sure.
of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Driving and everything else.
So hop in your car. What do you got on playlist? We got in there and hit play. What would it be?
Goodness. Depends on my mood.
Yeah.
I'm the
Mhm.
same
I
way.
am probably listening to Christian music,
Right.
preparing for the drive,
Right.
and then on the way home,
Until
preparing
somebody
to get
cuts
ready.
you off, right?
Yeah, but no.
That's how I
no.
am. They cut me off. I've got on K-Love. I got to
And then
change
you put it on the rock
Yeah,
station.
but, well, because
Just to
of,
get around them.
well, because of the curse words I just let roll out. I'm like, oh, I don't. Yeah.
But on the weekends, around Friday, about 4 o'clock, I hit the 80s and
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
90s
Yeah.
playlist. And in
Right.
the summertime, I'm a
Yeah.
yacht rock.
Yeah.
Addict.
Oh, yacht rock fan in the
Yes,
house.
yes.
All right.
On the boat.
Michael.
Yes,
That's a playlist on the
summertime,
boat.
Summertime,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh,
What about
Michael
you?
over there?
Yeah.
I am. Don't laugh at me, but I try to every year. I'm not a reader
Right.
as
Yeah.
an educator.
Sure. Yeah.
I just.
no.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
I
know
tried.
that.
Forgive me.
That makes me disappointed.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
She's like, why did I hire
I
you?
redo.
Well, that wasn't in the interview
So,
process.
yeah.
It
so-
wasn't.
Yeah,
Make
yeah.
a note. Add
Yeah,
that. Literacy.
So I
literacy.
do listen to the Bible,
Right.
and I was
Mm.
I did not get a good healthy start on that this year.
Right.
So I start the morning off. I get 2 days worth
Yeah.
timed out. By the time I hit Martha Mitchell out here,
Right.
then I'm as soon as it clicks my day, I'm immediately
Yeah.
just turn up the volume and
Right.
David Basil is talking
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Mhm.
or if they're talking total nonsense, then I flip over to K
Right.
Love
Yeah.
or hit one button and I'm back to country. So
Yeah.
and on the
Yeah.
boat, it's yeah.
Well, it's
Mhm.
interesting you say that about the Bible because my word this year, the one word book,
Mhm.
and is move. And couple things, couple examples. My parents, my wife and I were cutting their yard. They're up in years, so we're mowing their yard. Their neighbor had health problems, and their yard hadn't been cut in probably like 2
Jump
months.
into that yard.
Yeah, and I told my wife, I said, man, somebody needs to cut the grass. And she said, well, let's
Move.
move. And so we did. And cut the
I
grass.
saw that one coming.
And then the other one was reading the Bible cover to
Mhm.
cover. I've never
Yeah.
done that. And I think I'm in week 12, and I probably hadn't been this disciplined in a long, long
Good for
time.
you.
And but the good news is how it was finding the right plan. It's
Right.
Old Testament,
Mhm.
a psalm every once in a while, and New Testament, and kind of
To
keeping
weave
it,
it in.
yeah, and kind of keep it
Mhm.
chronological,
Yeah.
and it's made more sense,
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I hit day 356 today.
yeah,
Oh,
wow,
good for you.
So
yeah,
I might have it
yeah,
completed by next Wednesday.
yeah,
Because
that's
it's pretty
awesome.
much a Monday through Friday.
Yeah, that's what this
2
is.
on the way home, 2 on the way here, 1 on the way home.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I
Right.
knock it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but
My
yeah,
Bible study in the mornings and on the weekends and at
Yeah.
night. When I
Yeah.
can really, I have to have everything like
right.
my cup of
Yeah.
coffee,
Yeah,
my
you gotta get it
markers.
all.
I mean, it has
Highlighted.
to all be right
Oh
here.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
making the notes and
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
My
kinda-
husband and my sons are like, "What are you
Yeah.
doing?"
Well, and I'm blessed from this standpoint too. Fountain Lake, where I was at, they have what they call coaches outreach, right?
Mhm.
And the I don't know if you know Mark Davis, retired AD over there, but he leads it. And so we do that on Tuesday mornings. And so Tuesday right now, but again, I say this all the time. That's at 6:45. Then I end the day with Miracle League, right? I'm on the board over there. I have been since we had it in Garland County. And a lot of days I'll grumble going to Miracle League. I'll be the first one to tell you. And I always try to get a shameless plug in for buddies and that kind of stuff. But there's not one time that I have gone to Miracle League that I didn't leave with just a completely full heart and a big smile on my face.
Yeah.
And
And
so
kicking yourself. For
yeah,
thinking that
yeah,
on the way,
and thinking that. And
Yes, get there.
so-
Just get there. That's what I
That's
tell my
right.
sons.
yeah.
Right.
Nobody wants to get up and,
Yeah.
Right.
and really hardly, but when you get there, you're gonna be the
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
blessed.
Oh,
and that's what I tell
absolutely.
kids too about. I'm like, get an app, just have a devotion, just something to
Mhm.
remind you.
Yeah.
Because like if I don't stay
Right.
focused, like we all make mistakes, and
yeah.
but if I didn't have that something to focus me back
Constant
on what I
compass.
need to
Yep.
be doing.
Yeah.
You know, it's just constant reminders. And we
Well,
talk about that. I've
yeah.
talked about it with the superintendents and principals.
Yeah.
And to remind your kids about not bullying others. It's got to be
Yeah.
constant reminders. You can't just do a one-time thing and
Yeah,
then
right.
expect
It has
them
to be a habit.
be
Yeah.
like, you know,
Mhm.
about,
You're going to
'cause-
pour something in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might as well make it good.
That's
Well,
right.
yeah,
Well,
exactly.
and that's what I love about the the one word. I mean, I had a district last week reach out and said, "Hey, would you present on that?" And I'm like, "All right, sure," but because I get it, as I told the teachers, "Hey, teachers are working harder than an ugly stripper. Let that marinate." So with that
Because of what
being
they
Okay,
said,
did we
Listen.
just talk about the Bible and then go
Listen.
straight into?
Yeah.
Listen,
Hey,
his
you-
presentations, I'm
Hey.
like, you cannot put that slide in
hey,
there.
you got to
Like,
reach them, right?
You cannot put that
Yeah.
slide in there.
Grab their
Like, take it
attention.
out.
Yeah.
Reach them by
that's-
shock, right?
That's right. That's right.
Shock and awe.
I just
Yeah.
and Katie
There's
and
that.
I are just
Yeah.
shaking our heads.
So,
like,
so, but to that point, with understanding how hard they're working, that one word is you can really simplify some stuff. And I know it almost sounds too elementary to even work, but man, I mean,
Keep it simple.
how long have we been doing that? Probably 15, 16
Long
years.
time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
yeah, well,
yeah. So,
it is a good focus.
so
Yeah.
what about an embarrassing moment in your career as a teacher, admin? There's got to be something in there that you're,
Honestly, I've had this question before many times in my life,
Yeah.
and I know you know. I just don't get embarrassed.
well, eh,
I mean, I just roll
Well-
with it and think it's funny. I mean,
Well,
I can't
well-
think of something like, oh my gosh, I
Yeah,
wanted
I
to
learned
die.
to do
You know what I
that.
mean?
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah.
well, I mean,
but I'll
I-
think of something.
I mean,
Let him go first, and I'll think of something.
But I'm a lot like that too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't-
So yeah,
I learned to do that. I was just like,
Yeah.
roll with it, laugh
Yeah.
it off, and go.
Well, two.
yeah.
Oh, he's got two.
Or maybe
right.
not even an embarrassing moment.
Yeah.
Maybe something crazy that kids have done that's
Right.
funny.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
we've
that's
done
what
that
that's what
before.
this is. Two. The first one is self-explanatory. Donkey basketball
Oh,
as
yeah,
high school
yeah,
principal.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
anything that
Yeah.
you can imagine happened with that, that's what happened that
Yeah.
night.
Uh-huh.
And then I senior pranks,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I did not have many in my 13 years of high school principal. I did not have many of those.
Right.
But I did show up one morning and my office was it was obviously in the building, but it had exterior windows
Right.
and fairly new construction. So split face block, painted almost
Yeah.
creamy white.
Yeah.
And there was pictures
Uh,
below my window.
Uh-huh.
We'll stop right there.
Yeah, I
yeah.
can imagine.
Yeah.
And, by the time I drove around, I saw the picture. I was, on the
Yeah.
phone. How fast can you get here with some paint?
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that would have been
I mean, but you got to kind of laugh about it. I
Mhm.
mean,
You do.
inside. I'm just like,
yeah,
this
Oh, yeah.
is
Yeah.
genius. And I
Yeah.
don't know why it took
Yeah.
them 10 years to get here,
Yeah,
but this,
yeah. Well, my favorite prank that ever happened at Lakeside High School when I was principal, the seniors had this great idea. We're going to go out and camp on the football field, and then what we're going to do, we're going to get bread, and we're going to spell out whatever year it was, 2007 or whatever,
Mhm.
and the bread will get wet, and then it'll be a mess. Everybody have to pick it up. So guess what?
before
happened?
graduation.
Yeah, but guess what happened? The birds
Bird-
came
yeah.
in and ate 98% of the bread. So yeah. And, yeah.
It kind of would have been funny though if the birds had waited and then here come all the birds.
Yeah,
during
yeah,
graduation.
Yeah.
That's for
Like on the
That would have
beach.
been good.
Yeah,
That would
was
have
a
been
shock.
payback
Yeah.
on
Yes.
them for doing it.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So it would have been.
Yeah.
It's funny.
All right. So what's your embarrassing moment?
The only time my face ever gets red generally is if somebody is publicly saying something good about me. It
Yeah.
makes me
Yeah.
just want to crawl under the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And they talk bad about me, and I'm there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Yeah.
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 I
Laugh
can,
it
I
off
can
and-
Head
rebut
on,
it,
right.
head on. I guess I would say a moment that was intended to embarrass me, but didn't, was that the students got to decide what I was going to wear for Halloween
Mm.
at the fall festival,
Right.
and because I was so bubbly, and they gave me Eeyore,
Mm.
so I dressed up as a full-blown Eeyore.
Yeah.
And had to learn the Thriller
Dance.
dance
Yeah.
and do it with the students out in front of the whole community.
Yeah.
That's
It was,
awesome.
I loved it, right? But they were like,
Yeah.
ha ha ha, you know.
Yeah.
So
Kids love it.
that's
if
the only thing I
adults
can
will
think
embarrass
of.
Yeah.
themselves.
Well, I've
That
heard
was-
Candace call, a version of Eeyore a lot. Hey, Jack. So,
Whatever. I do
That's-
have a
I-
funny story, but I
I-
probably can't. I should tell it on the podcast, so I'll have to tell y'all after that happened with a student at Fountain Lake. Oh my gosh.
oh,
Let's
now
Around
you-
our house,
say-
we call it Jack and Jenny. 'Cause
Yeah. Yeah.
Jack and then Jeannie is
Yeah.
the female version.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Jack
let's-
and Jeannie.
Let's just say, speaking of Jack, but this had to do with a spelling. It was a literacy class, and I won't go into the whole detail. But the kid, the teacher assignment was give an example of the importance of capitalization and punctuation, and so one of the sentences had Uncle Jack, capital U, capital J. And then the other sentence was the exact same sentence, had help my uncle, Jack, lowercase. Anyway. So, yeah, it was pretty bad. And I was wanting to laugh, but I'm like, and the teacher's behind me probably trying not
Can't
to
laugh
laugh.
right now.
And I was like, go to my office. I was assistant high school principal. And I was like, I'll take care of this, tell the teacher or whatever. And I'm inside, I'm just trying not to laugh. Go through the whole thing.
Yeah. Set them up
call
for
the
success.
parent, and then Donald
Oh, yeah.
Westerman's in his office,
Yeah.
and I walk in. I'm like, "You're not gonna believe what just happened." It
But-
was
Oh yeah, but to
was
your
crazy.
point, I can remember being high school principal. We had this kid. He was just one of those rounders. You know, you loved him, but he was
Yes,
still a
here they
knucklehead.
come again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Knock,
he,
knock, knock.
he's sitting
Yes.
he's sitting in the office, and you know, this is my first year's high school principal. Bruce Orr, my assistant. So we just rotated office. If a kid needed something, we just did. So he's sitting there, and I saw who it was, and I was like, man. And I go to sit down, brand new chair. That thing snapped, and I rolled, got up, and that kid was like, "Mr. Beckwith, are you okay?" I said, "I am." And I said, "One more thing," and he said, "Yes, sir." I said, "Laugh, because that was funny. You're never gonna see that again." You
And
know?
y'all had
And
a
he
new
went and told-
bond,
So,
didn't
yeah,
you?
oh,
Let's
yeah.
enjoy
and he
this
went and
moment.
told
That's right.
everybody.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure.
So
That's
in
awesome.
hindsight, I should have jumped up and stuck the landing, but I didn't do that. So
Yeah.
but anyway.
We
That's
all
right.
have those moments.
Oh
don't we?
yeah, oh yeah.
Gosh.
So let's end on this one. Best piece of advice you've ever gotten, and best piece of advice you've ever given to this point.
Best piece of advice I've ever gotten.
Those are hard questions
They are.
because there's a lot.
Their money, their school, their community.
Yep, I like that.
I've ever given.
You've got a couple of kids. I know you doled out some sage advice there.
The story that brought you here is not the story that's going to take you where you want to be.
Ah, yeah, I
You
like
know.
that. Yeah,
You can't
I like it.
control what
Yeah.
brings you here, but now you control where you go.
right.
I've said
Yeah.
that over and over and over. I don't know if it's a good advice or not.
No,
but
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
That's
life.
what yeah.
Good life lesson
Yeah.
there.
Well, both of mine were questions.
Yeah.
My trumpet professor in college, I told you I was I was far from the valedictorian of high school,
Right.
and I was far from the most talented trumpet player at the University of Arkansas. I think I was an excellent educator
right.
and had a skill set, but being a professional musician was not it. My trumpet professor, he just called me Daniels,
Mhm.
and kind of real rough voice, one of the greatest humans on the earth. And he, when I'd not rehearsed, when I'd not spent the time, obviously he knew. He said, "Daniels, do you know anybody who would pay $1 to hear that?" Which was just implying,
Yeah.
this is not your best.
Right. Yeah.
You're
Oh,
here.
yeah.
You're here to
Right.
be your best.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So that is a
Yeah.
statement I use all the time.
Right.
And one that I also asked, especially students, and this was built to motivate, and now reflecting back in our ethical standards, it's probably something I should have been saying. But when I questioned why something happened, it was, are you just that dumb,
Mm-hmm.
or you just don't care?
Right. Yeah.
Are you too ignorant
Yeah.
to know
Right.
Or are you just doing
right
it?
or wrong,
Yeah.
or you just simply don't care? It can only be one of these.
That's right.
One of those
Yeah.
two. So
Yeah.
that's probably not very
Yeah.
motivational.
But
It was intended to be.
Yeah.
But what I would say to that, just like we all think about that, and you
Yeah.
reflect back on somebody within your education path, whether it be at college, high school, whatever, they'll remember that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, because you don't want to be
The one that don't care for
that
sure.
dumb,
Yeah.
or the person
Right,
that doesn't
or
care.
that.
You don't want to be either one of those.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And you have a
Yeah.
choice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. Yeah.
I thought of another one my dad
Okay.
said that you would appreciate.
All
'Cause
right.
you knew my dad a little bit.
Yeah.
He said, "Hustle with everything you do because 110% you win. Anything less is anybody's guess."
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
that's good.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Because he didn't
Yeah.
have any time for anything to be growing under your feet. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like chop, chop.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
sit down at home and
Yeah.
nothing. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're gonna be
Yeah.
on high alert
Yeah.
stuff to do.
Be
Yeah.
moving or
My
be
mom's the
asleep.
same way though.
Gotcha.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
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 Well, appreciate y'all taking some time
Yes.
with us today.
Oh,
And
hey,
again,
before we get
Yep.
out of here,
Yep.
I forgot. Did I tell you that next cornhole tournament?
Oh yeah.
You about to be kicked out as a partner.
Yeah.
Lincoln's about to be my
Well-
partner because we were winning.
We tore 'em
Oh, the
up.
second
Yeah.
night.
Second
Yeah.
night we
But-
tore
Well,
them
where am
up.
I gonna go?
Hey, this is what I'm going to say to you. That
You're stuck
second
with
night.
That's fine.
No, yeah, but what I'm saying, that second night's like JV. Ain't nobody. Hey, the trophy's been handed out. All the good stuff has
Consolation.
happened.
It was a
Whatever,
consolation round.
whatever.
Yeah. Well, and I think there was like six.
That's what all the
people that-
losers said.
That's
Hey,
what I'm saying.
Hey,
Yeah.
this is what I'm going to tell you. There was like 6 people out there just rotating in.
They saw what
and-
was happening. They wanted
They were
no
scared.
part of
So
it.
scared. So
Yeah.
scared.
We could
Oh,
do
my
Leadership
gosh.
Academy class of '98.
Yeah, exactly.
We were
That's
Leadership
right.
Academy.
That's right. Before they had the presidential lodge and all that stuff.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We roughed it back there in the old
Yes.
barn. Yeah. So, well, thank y'all for letting us come down here. It's
Y'all
been
were awesome.
fun.
It's
And-
great.
And again,
Welcome to the river.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
love
river.
it.
That reminds me of one of the, like the radio station. You know that elevator type music. The river.
The river.
So that's right. Though.
Yes.
So yeah.
We
We
got a whole
roll in
we got a
on-
whole river
We
playlist.
do.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
do.
you
Yeah,
really?
we do.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
play it in the
Oh,
rooms.
that's
and,
neat.
Rolling on the river. We're always
Love
rolling on
Yeah.
the river.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Oh, Candace has got a playlist, but I couldn't play it at the co-op probably.
I
Hey,
have to be really careful. There's not a lot. I
But-
mean, you have to really.
yeah.
be
Sometimes
careful.
you're running to
My
the computer
playlist
to
is
get it
okay.
that's
turned
right.
on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Believe it or not, she is one of the biggest Nelly fans ever to
Oh, me
be.
too.
Love
Listen,
it.
listen.
Nelly.
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I love Nelly.
I
I
should
don't
have
want to
said,
know anything about. Just like Michael Jackson.
She'll-
I don't want other stories.
she'll be
I just like
singing,
the
yeah.
music.
yeah. Candace, I shouldn't have brought Nelly up because she'll start singing.
That's
again
what you're
on
going to hear all the way
Oh,
home.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
need to put some Nelly on.
I'll
on
share
the
my
way back.
playlist with you.
Right. All right. Well, thank y'all.
Yeah,
thank
thank
you.
you
Thank you.
guys.
And this is going to wrap it up for the latest edition of Spilling the Tea in Studio D here from Arkansas River Co-op in Pine Bluff.